Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video, I want to be talking about a kind of a new topic that I've never really discussed before, and that's going to be the volatility of Smash Ultimate right now, because I think the game is in the most volatile state we've seen it since, like, the first frostbite of the game. Like, it is so volatile right now, and it's an era that we kind of haven't really seen before. Now, the reason I am saying this is because there's a couple reasons, but while there is in most people's mind a number one best player in the world, there is no definite number one player in the world. Now, right now, you'll probably say it's Leo, but the fact that you have to think about it is kind of unprecedented because you haven't had to think about it since Ultimate came out. Leo has just always been number one. But now it's like, okay, maybe it's Spargo. Maybe it is. Maybe it's Gluttony. No. But like players like let's just look at MK Leo. Let's look at MK Leo's record recently. He went first of all, he dropped his top 2 performance record. He dropped that for the first time in 2 years, which is obscene. But then he also lost Pound to Gluttony. He lost Collision to Spargo. He lost Smash Ultimate Summit to Spargo and Proto. And he dropped a lot of sets at Summit. But so one tournament doesn't completely define that. But the fact that there is inconsistency in someone that has literally never been inconsistent in this game shows a lot. There's also like top 10, top 5 players that are just not top 10, top 5 anymore. Like a player like Meister, amazing player, great player. He's insane. He's dropped off a lot lately. Mars and Meister, I think the biggest two of this. They've dropped off a ton. Like they just not a ton, but they're not like they used to be because the quarantine era did things to people. Like it changed. There's also a lot of like I'm not going to ignore it. There's a lot of top players, like probably like 3 of the top 10, just don't compete anymore. Like, either they're banned or they can't. Like a decent chunk of top 10 is now gone. Some people that were definites for top 10 are not in the top 10 anymore, and the number one best player in the world is finally being contested, and it is the first time in Ultimate where it is really, really hard to make a top 10. And what also makes it really, really hard is international travel is starting to slowly be introduced. But now that makes it's like, okay, let's say we're pretty sure these are the top 5 players, and then someone from Japan comes over and absolutely destroys, and that changes up everything. Same thing for someone from Europe. Or let's say like someone at Japan is just doing amazing and they're not traveling. Are they top 5? Are they top 10? It's hard to tell, and it makes this game... I don't want to use the word inconsistent, because inconsistent means... It makes it feel like it's luck. There's no skill involved. It just kind of happens. Like, oh, Leo isn't placing top 2 because he's just unlucky. It's an inconsistent game, and I wouldn't say that. The game is not inconsistent, it's volatile, even though they're basically the same word. It's just... It's hard to predict what's going to happen. There are a couple definites. You'll see Leo in top 8 almost guaranteed. You'll see Spargo in top 8 almost guaranteed. You'll see someone like Cola in top 8 almost guaranteed. But, like, I don't know. It's just something so weird. I feel like in the past, let's say, like, Season 2 PGR, people that you are guaranteed to see in the top 8 pretty much, obviously there's tournaments where they're not going to be there. It is going to be MK Leo, Tweak, Mars, Samsora, Nairo, and then, like, maybe Light, maybe Gluttony if he's there, maybe Esam, maybe Dark Wizzy towards the end, and that was the Buzz, obviously, but that was kind of it. Those were the only givens, and then like also Zachary when he traveled, but those were the only people. They were like super super dominant, and now we have like Leo, Spargo, Light, and I want to say that's it, because while players like Cola and Gluttony are getting very, very, very consistent into that area, they have had performances where they're not doing amazing. Like, Tweak now isn't even someone who is consistently getting top 8s. Like, Tweak is having amazing tournaments, but he's also having a lot of upsets. Not saying he didn't beforehand, because Tweak was an upsettable player, but I'd say a lot more of them are happening now than they at least previously were. And now you don't have Mars in there. Cola starting to get there. Light is definitely in there. DeBuzz even now, someone that was super consistent for top 8s, not getting in there as much. It's just the game has changed a ton, and it's a lot more volatile. It's a lot more... I don't want to say exposed, because that feels wrong, but that's kind of what it is. It's like things can just happen. Like, you don't know. Yanni might make an insane run. Like, if I'm looking back to pre-quarantine insane runs, there's only a couple that come to mind. I think Jackal did amazing at Genesis, if I'm remembering that right. I'll look it up right now as I'm talking. Toast run at Frostbite was definitely the most insane example. Arfang at Big House, that was a big one. But I feel like there wasn't as many, like, superstar runs. Now you have Sean last week doing amazing. You have Myron. Well, it's not, like, super crazy, but he kind of didn't do as well. And then Myron got, like, 5th at Genesis. Quinn won a super major. He won Let's Make Big Moves when, like, beforehand, he wasn't unknown because obviously everyone knew he was a phenomenal player, but he wasn't putting things on the board. He was like 32nd seed, and then he just pulled out like that. That just would not happen in pre-quarantine Ultimate. That's just unheard of. And I feel like that just doesn't, I don't know. It's just very, very strange to me. And I don't know if it was the new characters that are coming, like maybe I think the Steves, unironically, do have a pretty large effect on it, just because of how many amazing Steves there are now. Sorry, I'm just looking something up for Jackal. Yeah, obviously the Steves. Okay, it was not Jackal who got 9th. Maybe it was Charlie. Charlie the King. Or I think he changed his name. I'm just gonna go on a tangent. I'll try to talk. But also, like, I think this, even from the start of what's it called? Smash like quarantine, since we're back, you had like Summit, where you had a player like Void doing absolutely insane. Like, obviously everyone knew Void was good, but he had definitely fallen off, and then he went and got 5th. We had players like Charlie the King having insane runs, getting like I think he got 9th, but he got really good wins. Adamask got he beat Wizzy. Cola and Aaron kind of rose out of nowhere. I think Cola and Spargo are just like people that no one really expected to be like. Everyone knew they were good, but not that good. Like, they have gotten so much better, and there's so much more of that where it's just it was Charlie King who got 9th. I believe he changed his tag though. I do want to call him by the correct tag. I can't find it. Gosh darn it. Sorry, I know he changed his tag. I don't know what it is, unfortunately. But, sorry, he's an insane player. Look up some VODs of him if you have the chance. But anyway, I think Ultimate, overall, I don't want to repeat myself too much, so I won't go on much longer, but it is a lot harder to be consistent in Ultimate right now than it was beforehand. Like, there was definitely a lot more super consistent players pre-quarantine than there was now. And obviously, granted, a lot of those, like, super consistent ones, like, probably, like, not half, but a decent chunk of them are not competing anymore. But that's just because 2 people or 3 people leave doesn't mean that now the game just becomes broken. Like, there's still people that were super consistent before. I don't want to name names. You know who it is. Because I just don't want to call people out because that feels rude. But they are, instead of getting like top 8 every time, they're getting like top 13, top 17, and obviously those are phenomenal placements, but it's nowhere near what they were getting. And there's so many more breakout runs in top 8s. Like Jake now, he had his breakout run. Sean, obviously, I talked about. Aiken, he had his run. Vendetta had his run. There's so many. I'm obviously forgetting a ton of them because there's been so many. I feel like Ultimate's meta is just evolving so quickly, and it's really hard to keep up. But yeah, that's kind of what I think. Just food for thought. Let me know what you guys think. Why you think it's more volatile, or if you don't think it all. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe like you guys are like, no, there's still like 5 super consistent players. It's just changed who it is. I could definitely see an argument for it, but I think in my opinion, it is a lot harder to be consistent in Ultimate right now. And obviously, that makes sense as the game evolves. People are going to evolve, but that also means the top players are going to evolve. It's just interesting how it seems like the large majority is evolving a lot faster than those said top players. It's getting a lot harder to stay on top, and I think as Ultimate continues developing, it's going to be consistently harder. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Subscribe, all that yada yada, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.